Farm to Taste.
Farm to Taste.
This is so exciting. We have an amazing show scheduled for you today where we're going to be talking about all things food. Wonderful, wonderful food. Where it comes from, what to do with it, how to choose great foods from the grocery store and how to read a label, and then also how to put a snack together. Very exciting. We also have a special guest from WIC, and she will be up with us in just a little bit.
And we have a video that we created. Oh gosh, when was it? 2012.
8.
Was it 2008?
8.
2008? 12?
8 years
Whatever.
ago?
It's been a long
It's
time.
been a
It's
long
been a
time.
long time. But Farm to Taste. And I just want to show you what the farmers brought in to us this morning. Right, one of it is from this right here is from our school garden.
Yes.
Right here in Mount Diablo Unified School District over at Riverview. And Farmer Kathy brought this in. And this is Romanesco. We had been saying it wrong. Romanesco. And purple cauliflower. But I wanted to show you and compare what comes off the farm.
Yes.
And I had a friend over on Highway 4. She has Aglantis. And if you pull these leaves off, these are the leaves from, oh wow, they're really intense here. And if you pull, can you pull those back?
We want to pull them back and we want to
Show you, can you see that?
Yep.
That is the Romanesco right there. And this is the same, this is from a farm, an organic farm. And this is from our farm, our mini farm here right in the school district. We are growing the same kind of food.
So if you've never had Romanesco before, you can't get it at all stores all year round. This is one of those, what I consider like a delicacy, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's just amazing. And when they pop into the grocery stores, I always get them. They're one of my son's favorite vegetables. The only one that he'll really eat like a pile of roasted Romanesco.
Yes.
He loves it. So the
And this
texture,
is a combination
Yeah.
of cauliflower and broccoli together. So it's not as pungent as broccoli.
Right.
And it's has a little bit more flavor than the cauliflower
Yes.
Romanesco. And it is seasonal. It's grown locally here. You can get it, now you can get it in Trader Joe's. Safeway has it. Sprouts.
Sometimes. Yeah. They all
Whole
have them,
Foods,
but
they
just
all have
randomly.
it. It's randomly.
It's not
And
all the time. Yeah.
And the farmer's market. And the
Yes.
farmer's market right
Yes.
now. And look at this.
Oh, this reminds me of when I was a kid. Remember Cabbage Patch Kids? They're so cute.
This little cabbage is right from the garden, from my friend's farm, but we're also growing them here right on campus. And the great part, I mean, it isn't tight like what you see in the grocery store, those tight big ones.
Yes.
This is more heirloom, but everything is so tender. You chop it up the same way, or chop it up and put it into a soup, or saute it.
Saute.
Oh yeah.
You can even chop it, and I've done like steaks. Right, where you chop it like
Oh,
this,
yeah,
and you
yeah,
do a
yeah,
whole
yeah.
right, and then
And
you
you
throw it
roast
in the
it.
oven and you roast
And you
it.
roast
Yeah.
it,
Then
yeah.
you can put some like tomato sauce and some cheese, and it's like it's really
Delicious,
good,
delicious.
really good.
And I want to also show you, here's all the greens. And this came from the school garden. So we have two different kinds of, isn't this great?
This woman, she literally knocked on the door like an hour ago. She walked in with this giant basket of green goodness that's just been grown
Yes.
and picked.
Look at these, all of these
It
greens.
just makes me so happy. My body, my cells in my body are just tingling looking at this.
Yeah, 'cause you
because
can see the richness,
it's
the deep
vibrant
richness.
with vitamins and minerals and nutrients and enzymes and antioxidants and fiber and water and all of the things that your body needs.
The 6 essential nutrients.
Yes, greens actually even have protein as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Amazing.
So I just want to say every
Amazing.
week, Kathy said she's going to be bringing in whatever's growing in our local gardens around here. And then I asked her if next week when she pops in, if she could give, because she gives garden lessons, if she could tell us what they're learning, because she brings the kids out into the garden.
Yes.
And what are they learning right now? And let us share that with you. So I'm going to put this in the back here.
Right.
Now.
What's growing? What's seasonal? What's fresh? What's happening in the garden? Because every season's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Love it.
Depending on the sun, how much sun we have.
Oh, it's always the
today
sun.
we are going to be making from our cookbook,
From the cookbook,
Fat Chance.
Fat Chance Cookbook with Cindy Gershon.
Okay, so what are we making today? Turn to the page, give them the page.
We are going to turn to the page. I was just doing it like, along at the camera. They want to see it. We're doing the thing. We're doing the things.
We're plugging the book.
We're plugging the book. The story behind this book is actually amazing. Is this the day that we're going to talk about the story behind this book?
No, next week.
Okay,
Because
okay,
Dr.
okay,
Lustig,
okay,
who I wrote the book with, he'll be our guest next week.
Yes.
Oh, I'm
yes.
very
So
excited
we're
about
talking
him
about
coming.
the history of where this book came from. It's really amazing
Really
story.
amazing.
I love it. Okay, so until then, we are on page 117. Of course, you can get this book on Amazon. I highly recommend it. I think we probably have 3 copies.
At least. Well, there's one right there.
There's one there. There's
so
one
we're
here.
gonna
There's one all
start
over the
off-
place.
They're
Yes.
starting off with
Yes.
our oats. So I have
Yep.
rolled oats. I don't use the instant or the 1 minute. This is regular old-fashioned rolled oats. Really important.
Okay, beautiful oats.
All right.
So we've got 6 cups of rolled oats.
And it's right in here. Then what's the next thing?
Well, it says to whisk the wet stuff together first, but is it okay if we just kind of
Well,
dump it all in?
I'm gonna do the water. You
Okay,
could do
half a
water
cup of
first.
water.
Half a cup of water.
Half a cup of some kind of oil.
Now we were talking about today that we could actually, in place of the oil, you could put half oil and half of our peanut, whatever kind of peanut you could put almond. You
Butter,
can put
like an almond butter, peanut butter, or something like that, because you want to have some fat.
Yes.
It's good for your brain. It's good for your body. It makes it taste good. It gives it a
Yes,
nice
it gives it a
crunch.
palate. It gives it a palate.
It gives it a
right.
palate, right? And your
Right.
brain, it needs fat. I know that we went like fat phobic back in the 80s and 90s. We all went fat free. That didn't work so well.
No, and Lustig's going to talk about that, what happened to us, and what we replaced it with, but we're not going to say right now.
No.
We're going to
Keep the suspense.
keep the suspense.
One topic
Okay.
at a time. Okay.
That's it.
So now we want to add in some a tablespoon of cinnamon.
And Rosie likes cinnamon, so this is a big tablespoon.
Heaping tablespoon.
And you can also put a little nutmeg.
You can put nutmeg.
Nutmeg would
whatever
be okay.
seasoning you want, right?
Yeah,
Just
allspice
get it.
would be good in
Yes.
this. Nutmeg.
So we're also going to add a tablespoon of vanilla, and with that as well, we're doing vanilla right here. This is the basic recipe. You could do any kind of extract that you want. There's lots of
Almond,
different flavors in the
orange.
store. Yep, exactly.
You could grate orange peel into this. Lemon zest would be so good in
What?
this.
Now we're really going wild. I like your
Okay.
style. I love little pieces of orange zest.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so now I've
Okay.
got this all mixed up, and you can see I'm doing it in one bowl, which is
Sure.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
So we like seeds. So you want to tell me something positive about these? Are sunflower seeds, and they are just raw.
Delicious and nutritious. See, what's cool about seeds, and this is actually something that people get a little bit nervous about, is they're so robust. I mean, think about one seed creates a whole tree with millions of seeds in it, or a whole flower with millions of seeds in it, right? So like one to the many, 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 which means that it has to have everything that that little plant needs to thrive and to grow all of the nutrients. It's
little
dense.
protein, a
That's why the
little bit
fat's in there, because your
fiber,
body
everything.
needs it. Yeah, plants need
Okay,
it.
so we have how many nuts?
Oh, thank you. This is a 1 cup of raw nuts. We just did the mixed nuts, like
Mixed
whatever
nuts,
kind of
put
nuts
them
that
in
you
there.
like or that you want, throw them in there.
Throw 'em in there.
Almonds are
Or
good,
no nuts. If you don't
cashews.
want any nuts, you want to put more seeds.
Yep.
Feel free to do that.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I am mixing this all up. Now it does call for raisins
After.
afterward, and I'm going to tell you why we put it in afterwards, because it's going to dry out, because these have moisture in it. Okay. So you want to wait, otherwise they're going to be as hard as a rock. So I'm going to set those to the side, and now I'm going to put my granola here on my sheet pan.
In the recipe, it actually does call for a 1/4 cup of honey or sugar or maple syrup or something like that. Personally, I don't really like to have any added sugar in my diet if I can help it.
Refined.
Refined
Right.
added sugar. Well, that's what
So
added
this will
means,
be
but
the
yeah.
sugar right here that
Right.
you put in. That'll give
So
sweetness.
I know that I'm going to be eating this amazing granola, so I'm just going to leave the sugar out. You can add it in if you want to add a little bit of sweetness. It does encourage yourself and others to eat a little bit more of
Oh,
it.
and this smells so good already.
And it changes the texture and the consistency and the flavor a little bit, even though it's just a little bit of sugar or honey, but we're going to leave it out of this
I'm
one.
going to leave it out. We're going to pop this into the oven
Yes,
right now, and
that looks
then at the end of the show it'll be done. We'll stir it a few times. I put it in a 350 oven, and every 15 minutes I just kind of stir it. It takes, and you want to dry it out too, so it's real nice.
It says it takes about 25 minutes. Perfect.
Okay, I'm going to stick this over here.
Excellent.
Now, I wanted to talk about what we're going to be doing today, because we're going to be showing you a video in about 5 minutes called Label Reading 101. We did this.
There's a good story.
There's a good
here.
story, okay? So we're going to compare and contrast in a few minutes, but I want to tell you just a little bit about the story. I met Dr. Lustig back in 2005, and we had talked before that I had been very overweight, and we talk about our story in the Fat Chance Cookbook. And so we together, Rob Lustig and I, started Wellness City Challenge with Doug Reed and some people, and he was a filmmaker, and some people that we were together, and we said, we're going to tell the story of what processed food, especially sugar, does to children. So we had some funding, and we did Label Reading 101. And Doug Reed, who was a filmmaker at the time, we said that there was 3 things that you had to do, and we're going to be talking about that today with label reading. You have to look for the fiber content, and that's what you get. You don't have to read a label if it's real food. Anything that's packaged, you need to read the label, so we're going to teach you to do that. So it has to have 3 grams of fiber in a serving. It has to have no sugar in the first 3 ingredients. And it has to have less than 5, 4 or more, leave it at the store. And that goes with drinks, and that goes with a lot of the food, depending upon if it's added sugar, and if it's added sugar, if it comes naturally. So he'll explain more about that next week, and you'll see it in the video. The young man that showed up, because we hired him as an actor to do this video, when he showed up, he could not remember his lines. He was 13 years old. So we said to his mother, what's that? She goes, I just don't understand. He had spent the night at friends. He'd spent the night at friends. Oh, wait. She says, wait, hold on. She says, he's a little off. Let me get him his sports drink. I just looked at him and, what do you mean? She goes, as soon as I give him his sports drink with the caffeine, he'll be fine.
This kid was like 12, 11.
12, 13 years old.
Yeah.
So it turns out the night before he was at his friend's house. So I sat down with him. I said, tell me what you ate yesterday, last night.
So typical
he said he had
Sandy Gershon.
pizza.
What did you have for breakfast?
What did you have? They had stopped
So
on the
good.
way in and had donuts. He had had pizza and sports drinks and sodas.
But it was a monster.
It was a
caffeinated energy drink. Yes. And she just went, well, no wonder. A lot of people don't understand that. They don't put the pieces together. They don't connect.
Hold on. Okay. You weren't there. I was
there. I know, but I really love this. I love telling the story.
We had to tell this child and his mother, you are in no shape to do this. Yeah. And he had to come back the next week. I sat with them for half an hour after that, and I said, this is how you have, they took pen and paper, and they said, this is how you prepare before you go before the camera. This is what you need to do. You need to get a good night's sleep. And I said, not only does this happen before, he was an actor, he wanted to be an actor, before class, before school, what are you eating? What are you sleeping? What are you doing the night before? And it changed his life. And so now you're going to see this video of this kid coming back the next week, and he had oatmeal and fruit and yogurt for breakfast. He had a good meal, went to bed, and he no longer drinks sports drinks as of then. I mean,
changing people's lives.
Changing people's lives.
With just a little bit of love, a little bit of education, a little bit of guidance.
Without
but he had
good
the personal
education,
experience too.
He had the personal experience.
It's so powerful.
But without education, without skills, and without accessibility, the child has no chance to excel in school. So this show, I think you're going to be showing it now? Is that about right? We're going to go right into it? Enjoy. We'll be right back.
If you want to have energy and be healthy, you need to know what you're eating. Did you know that there is whole food and food products? You won't find a label on whole food, but you'll find a label on food products, because this is processed food that is engineered to be convenient, last a long time in the store, and taste good so that you want more, which does not mean it's good for you. You want to be smart about what you eat, and knowing the basics about labels puts you in charge of making smart decisions about what you put in your body. Every label looks pretty much like this. What's in it is over here, and here are the percent daily value numbers. The percent daily value number is a percent of what one serving gives you out of the recommended 2,000 calories in one day. Here's a cool trick. Always begin where it says ingredients, which is rarely at the top. Look at the first ingredients. If a sugar or a sweetener appears as one of the first 3 ingredients, it's a dessert. A salad dressing that has sugar as one of the first 3 ingredients, and you put it on, your healthy salad just turned into a dessert. Believe me, it's a dessert. How can you stay healthy if you eat desserts all day? That's what many folks do, but they don't know it. Be careful. There are over 40 names for sugar. Finding the added or hidden sugars is the key to choosing something healthy to eat. Too much sugar turns to fat in your body. A lot of people don't know that. The sugar you really want to watch out for is high fructose corn syrup. It's put into all kinds of food because it's cheap, but it has no value for you. Just empty, harmful calories. Your body does need sugar, but only the right sugar. Now read the entire list of ingredients. Do you know what all the ingredients are? What's that? If you don't know what an ingredient is, chances are it's an additive designed to preserve and enhance the flavor. It's not food. Remember, whole food, food products. They're not the same. Now we can go to the top of the label and evaluate. Serving size is all about 1 serving. Servings per container will tell you a lot more. A small package sometimes contains 2 servings. Ask yourself, if there are 2 servings in a package, will I be satisfied by only eating half the package, or will I want more than 1 serving? Calories. Obviously, the more you eat, the more calories you take in. If you want to know how many calories are in the whole package, just multiply the servings per container times the calories. Whoa! Now look at calories from fat. Actually, oils and fats are important to your health. But let's get this right. Basically, there are 3 kinds of oils and fats. 1. Healthy oils and fats that come from plants, seeds, and fish. 2. Not as healthy oils and fats that come from animals, like saturated fats. And 3. Man-made oils and fats, like partially hydrogenated or trans fats that you do not want to eat ever. Let's say the calorie number is 200 and the calories from fat number 120. That means that over half of the calories are from fat. Keep the calories from fat number less than 1/3 of the calorie number. All partially hydrogenated or trans fats should be eliminated completely. The trans fat number must be 0. Sodium. Sodium is salt. Salt naturally occurs in many whole foods. The recommended daily value for sodium is less than 2,400 milligrams a day. But really, your body only needs 500 milligrams a day. Watch out for sodium, because it's easy to consume way more than this in a day, especially if you eat food products. Here's an important number. Dietary fiber. Look for 3 grams or more for every 100 calories per serving. Fiber is essential for a healthy digestive tract and help balance blood sugar. Fiber comes from plants including fruits, vegetables, beans, whole grains. You know, whole food. The recommended fiber intake is a minimum of 25 grams a day. So you're gonna have to eat quite a bit of good food to reach 25 grams a day. Food products may taste good, but they don't have much fiber. Sorry. There's a lot more to know about labels, but the most important things are as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Look at the ingredients list first and make sure there is no sugar in the first 3 ingredients. 2. Make sure there are no partially hydrogenated or trans fats, ever. 3. Make sure that there are at least 3 grams of fiber for every 100 calories per serving. Remember, there's a difference between whole food, no label necessary, and food products, where a label is totally necessary. If you want to make a difference, read labels at the store. It may be too late once these products are at your home. If you follow the 3 simple steps, you'll feel and look great. You'll have lots of energy and you won't have to stress out about the food you're eating. Now go teach everyone else around you. They probably don't know how simple healthy eating is.
Can you believe how relevant that is? After
That was
all
awesome,
these years.
wasn't it? Oh my gosh.
You know, it's when something is the truth, it lasts forever. And just staying with those 3 concepts,
so powerful.
3 grams and 100, 100 to 120 calories, 3 grams of whole grain fiber. And then, sugar. Where is the sugar? How much sugar and where is it added? And it's in everything. And then trans fats.
Zero.
We're going to be talking about
Hard
the
zero.
different names that they've given. What do they do? The hydrolyzed or whatever it is. Hydrogenated.
Partially hydrogenated, hydrogenated, interesterified. That's
there's
a weird one.
So many names. So we are going to be talking, because we're just going to stay with those, if we just stay with those 3 concepts. Then I think we're in good shape. We've got all kinds of things to read the label here. And these are things I went to Trader Joe's last night because we have a 12-year-old, I have a 12-year-old grandson.
Yes.
And a lot of these things are in our house. So we're going to look at some of the positive and some of the choices that oh God, can you smell that granola?
Yes, I sure can.
It is.
Delicious.
It's delicious. Oh,
so she did. She just got in there and stirred it a little bit. So you kind of bring it in from the sides, do a little stir, keep it going. It's looking really good.
We looked at things that would be good choices that you can make. To think that people are going to make everything from scratch, some people do, but some people are working. It's a lot of time. And so you want your children to be able to go in the closet and say, hey, get your snacks out, put things together. Maybe they're staying after school to play a sport, and they want to be able to have things in their backpack that they're going to be able to snack on. That in fact, if you put a few things together, you could actually make a meal out of it. So we know that you have to have, some kind of grain, some kind of, complex carbohydrate. Fruits fall in that, veggies fall in that, but also fats too, right? And fats and proteins. And a lot of times, your fats are your proteins, like nuts. They are really both. Cheese. In fact, cheese is the only food product that is a fat, a protein, and a carbohydrate. And that's because milk has lactose. It has milk in it. So it can be a complete meal in itself. But we like to take things and combine them together that you could take with you that have the fiber. So here's
very exciting.
Very
because
exciting.
Not everybody needs snacks. Honestly, I don't eat snacks. You don't eat snacks. You don't really need that. I mean, maybe once a year if I'm snowboarding all day or I'm hiking up some crazy mountain. Right? I'm not an athlete and I'm not a growing child anymore. So I don't really need to eat more than 3 times a day. Personally, I keep it really simple: breakfast, lunch, dinner. However, there are times in life, and some people, especially if you're an athlete or if you're a growing person, right, a child, that you need to have a little bit more during the day to kind of sustain your body, and it's growing and it's multiplying and all these cells are happening and it's really exciting. So we want to make sure that we have some snacks on hand that are also nutritious. Right? For that beautiful growing body, that thriving body. And it's not about weight loss, it's just about nutrition. It's about feeling great and having energy.
Also, there's been times when you're stuck in the car, maybe you're going to, right?
I typically always have an apple and or some nuts in my car because you're right. you know, even though I don't typically snack, sometimes things happen and my dinner is pushed off by hour after hour after hour.
Or maybe
and
you can't get to your dinner
I
and
can't
you
get-
need to make you're stuck on an
need to
airplane.
make a
So,
choice.
Make a choice.
Yes.
So these are the things, because you never know, life
Totally.
happens.
Life
so
happens.
we want to show you how to make your best choices.
Ooh, how
that
do I
don't do it.
label read?
How do I label read? So I'm going to be showing, maybe you could remember where it's school. Okay. So you want to take a look at what's in this. This is little guacamoles.
Little guacamole.
Yeah.
Okay, so show the guacamole.
I'm going to show the little
See, this is really
guacamole.
cool because this is a serving size in one little pouch.
And it's portion control, which is
Portion
what
control,
we need.
and it makes it so easy, and then you don't need like a knife or anything, you just zip it right open. So the ingredients here is avocados,
Yes. Green.
vinegar, water, jalapeno peppers, salt, dehydrated onion, and granulated garlic. Awesome.
Everything you recommend.
I recognize all of it. Yes,
that.
I know what this
So we
is.
want to put this into the category of, you should have it in your fridge.
This is a real
Plus,
food.
It's a real food.
Yeah.
Plus, I also wanted to talk about what you see in all this is a lot of packaging. We have to be very aware of the environment also. They kind of go hand in hand, the environment here, but the environment there.
Yeah.
These little containers, I always say to the kids, save them, wash them, because you can use them. These are great to take to class if you're going to be painting in class. So always think in terms
I
of
love
reuse, recycle.
Reuse, reuse,
Reuse,
reduce, reuse. I love that.
So you can take these little
Yep.
little cups and you can save them for other things that you're doing.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you, Chef
So I
Cindy.
am going to set this to the side, so this is a positive. What I would dip into it is you can put it on right here. You want to take a look at this?
Yeah, see, this is really nice as well. It doesn't really actually have a lot of fiber. So if you're looking at the label and you're like, what's up? I'm not sure what's happening here. But what's really nice about these is that the ingredients are organic brown rice and salt. How awesome is that?
Yes.
Just super simple. I like to think of these as like a nice, crunchy vehicle for my fruits and my nuts. Because
Yes.
I like to have it with a little nut butter and a little like fruit, little banana or cinnamon or something on the top for breakfast.
So it's a
So
delivery
good.
system, but don't be looking at as, I mean, it does have calories.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have any fiber, and fiber is what you're going to need for your gut. So, but
Always
we're
need
going to
more
put
fiber.
this like, yeah, it could be. All right, so right here, what about this?
Ooh, everything
them.
but the gluten. Now, gluten is a whole nother topic.
Another topic, but
We're
what's
not
in
going to
there?
get into that right now. But basically, what that means is that they've had to make what we have grown to love, which is crackers, right? And go, if we're not going to have gluten, what are we going to have? And so they've had to be a little bit more creative. So there's sunflower seeds and oat flakes and sesame seeds and flax seeds and corn flour and quinoa flour and onion and garlic and all kinds of wonderful things. And what's really nice about having variety.
We recognize everything that's in
We
here. So
recognize
we're
it.
saying read the label. So can you tell me what the calorie content is and the fiber content?
Whoop, excuse me. Okay, so calories is 160 and the fiber is 4 grams.
Which is good.
That's
very
pretty
nice.
darn good.
How
That's
about the
very
sugar grams?
close. Total included added sugar 0.
That's what we're looking for, is the added sugar.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a good option to use over here. I think it's better than the rice cakes because it has fiber in it.
Yes,
Okay.
that is
All right.
accurate.
So the next thing I think we're looking at, of course, anytime you have real food like blueberries, strawberries, oranges, apples, carrots, you don't need a label.
No.
It's nature has balanced the fructose, which is in everything,
Yep.
with the fiber. So
Yep.
this slowly absorbs.
And vitamins and
vitamins and
minerals,
minerals, and it's in
enzymes.
there.
Oh, it's just
but I
wonderful.
wanted to, and if you were going to have to choose, my first choice would always be an apple.
Always the real fruit.
Always
whole
the real
Yeah.
fruit. Always the real fruit. My second choice would be applesauce.
Yeah.
And in this applesauce, it says all it has is apples and organic, just the natural flavor from an apple. That is all that's in here. Again, these little containers right here. Reuse.
I love that.
Wash them, keep them, use them. You can put pudding in there. You can
I love the
store
paint idea.
the
It actually
paint.
makes me
Take
want to
them
go
school.
paint.
Paint.
Or Play-Doh, or
Play-Doh.
little Legos. I
Rose,
mean, there's a
Rose.
million options.
Focus. Focus. We're right here, right here.
I don't
I
know
know.
what's happening right now.
Okay. We could go off forever.
Well, see, this is one of the points that we're going at here is that you can get almost anything fresh, alive, and vibrant, less processed, less chemicals, less weird ingredients, less added sugar. But you have to read the labels. It
100%.
seems like these are exactly the same. They're not exactly the
Well,
same.
let me open this up and show them. And this is the Swishers. The Swishers, what do they call it? I
don't
guess
know.
you've seen this where you hand it to your baby and they can just take this top
Yeah,
off.
it's so easy.
But you can't reuse this for anything.
No.
This is
And-
like totally into the,
So it's organic apple puree, organic apple juice. That's added sugar.
Right.
Juice is added sugar. So they've concentrated, taken all of the good fiber and everything out and then added it back in, which it doesn't need it. And then apple juice concentrate. So it's got both.
Yes.
So this definitely has added sugar, 2%.
So what we want to tell you is, this is all from Trader Joe's, I would go this first, this first,
That's first.
applesauce,
Second.
and then this, like Dire Straight, leave it in your car in the front seat because your child will lose his mind if you don't have something to give them. But
Yeah.
the best is this, and then the
Yeah.
cord just goes right out there. So we also have different proteins. We've got your Baby Bells. We've got, Trader Joe has now this organic string cheese, wonderful organic turkey breast.
Again, there is a difference. There probably
Read
is
that.
15
Read that.
different products that they all look exactly like this.
But read the
they are
label on
not
that.
exactly this. Exactly. The ingredients on this is organic turkey breast, water, and salt.
That's it.
That's it, which is really nice.
Doesn't
Easy
have the
ingredients.
nitrates, there's no nitrates, there's nothing that you go, what is in this?
Right, exactly, which is beautiful. And again, feeling confident in reading a label and knowing what to look for, it makes the whole shopping experience a lot more fun as well, because you know that you're doing something right for your body, for your children. That little mom guilt disappears. It's really powerful.
These are the things that I shopped for last night, and I got these Snyder pretzels, and they just had flour, oat bran, yeast, soda, and that was it. And these were the only ones that I found that were just so clean and wonderful like that. So I want to just say, here are some of the things that you get. All of the plastic, think in terms of how you can recycle, reuse, but think about the health of your body. Make sure that that there's always some kind of protein, some kind of veggie or a fruit or a fat. We're going to be talking about this. This isn't the only time we're going to be talking about this. We're going to be talking about this all the time. But we have a guest that we're going to be bringing in, and Rose is going to be interviewing her. And we are going to be bringing in, well, I'll let you introduce her.
Cool, Marlene, yay!
Hi, thank you so much for having me. This is so exciting. I learned so much as well. This is wonderful. Yeah, how are you guys?
And you are from?
So my name is Marlene, and I am from the Contra Costa WIC program. I'm a registered dietitian, and I work in public health.
Okay, so I know what WIC is because I had WIC 12, 13 years ago when I was pregnant with my son. It was a little bit of a challenging time for me, and I really needed some help. And so I got some help, and one of the help that I got was from WIC. So would you maybe tell them what WIC stands for and what it is that you guys do?
Maybe a little
Absolutely.
history, like when did it start?
Sure. So WIC stands for the Women, Infants, and Children's Program. We are a supplemental nutrition program. And there are 3 large supplemental nutrition programs that serve low-income pregnant moms as well as children, preschool kids, so under the age of 5, so from 0 to 5. And the history is, in the 1960s, hunger was a problem in the United States.
Oh, yeah.
And at that time, doctors were seeing pregnant moms and their preschool-aged children and saying, you know what? You guys are malnourished.
Yeah.
We need you to get nutritious foods, you need to be healthier. And they gave out vouchers to these moms and to use for their children, and they were able to go to the grocery store and get nutritious food, so fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, milk, because they were malnourished. And so the voucher system started.
Did it help? Did it help?
It absolutely helped. And so with the child nutrition program, what they did is they instituted an act. So I think President Nixon was one of the ones who did this. And they started a program which initiated this supplemental nutrition program where they provided vouchers for fresh fruits and vegetables, nutrition education, practicing food safety. And so, WIC became kind of a resource in the community where low-income moms would go to get access to fresh fruits and vegetables and other foods. So like you said, you participated in WIC, and how did you find? Did you think that it was a great resource for you? You got education?
Yeah, it was incredible. They talked a lot about breastfeeding as well. There was a bunch of breastfeeding classes that I went to, and the importance of the mother, and this is, I think, one of the reasons why it's women, infants, and children that you serve, because if the mother is well fed, then she's producing healthy, nutritious, perfect food for the child. And then so the infant is fed through the mother, and then as the infant starts to grow, they still have resources for the child to continue on being able to get, buy food at the grocery store and not have to make a choice between getting nutritious food for you and your family and your children and like paying rent.
Yes.
Right? So it's a way to help support specifically nutrition for the mother and children. And it was fascinating because I didn't really know a lot of the information that they were teaching me and sharing with me.
Yeah.
It also was really nice to have the community want to support women who were kind of struggling financially with food. Like, the food is so important to the way that we think and your motivation, your mood, your attitude, your outlook on life. If you're not fed well and you're stressed out by that, like your body is stressed out, your mind is stressed out because you got this kid you're trying to care for and feed, then how are you supposed to look into the future and become better?
Yes.
And so it was really supportive for me at that time in my life. I was very
awesome.
grateful for it.
That's really good. So our strengths are being a resource in the community. We want to, get the mom onto the program. We give her all the education she needs prenatally, so before she has the baby.
Right.
This is how you should eat. You should exercise. We work with the doctors if there's any sort of chronic diseases, like if mom has gestational diabetes. We help her keep those, really supportive goals, and she can meet those goals by eating healthy, by staying active. And breastfeeding is our number one.
First food.
First food for baby.
So you have an education piece that goes along when, like when the mother first comes to you, you do step 1, step 2. Is there a way that we could possibly get you to come back and begin to show us what a step 1 would look like?
Absolutely.
Because I think that that's something that all men and women need to know before they have children.
Yes.
Because if you can get that education in the school, you're like doing it after, right?
Yes.
When they're pregnant or they're coming to you. But if we could back it up, and the information that you have, if we could actually introduce it to school-age children, then it just makes your job easier, and then it becomes, they know where the resources are. Our goal is, like we said, even with the young man from Label Reading 101, these were very smart people that had gone to college. The mother and the son was in a private school, but they did not have this simple information that it needs to get to them earlier. So maybe WIC would come and we could be a vehicle to get to the young families before they have young families. Because after being here 12 years, my students that have graduated from high school are now, they're having children.
They're becoming parents.
They're becoming parents.
Yes, yeah.
And what we teach them in foods and nutrition and in here, they're always coming back to tell us, thank you so much. You gave me, because I didn't get to go to college. A foundation.
Yes.
So if you have the information, and that's what our show is about. It's about everyone needs the education. then they need the skills.
Yes.
And then they need the accessibility. And it sounds like WIC has all three.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Here we go, mobilizing the resources of the
We
community.
are, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, bringing it to
my.
the children is absolutely key. Teaching it in the high schools is really important. Just, just putting that information out there that we are a resource in the community. We do nutrition classes in our local high schools within the school district. So we go
Yes.
there and we teach about nutrition, food safety, breastfeeding and breast milk as being the first food for babies. Just caring for your body while you're pregnant so that you can have a healthy baby and have healthy outcomes. So it's really just that public health message of, eating well, staying active, and also pulling resources from your community and having that community support you, bringing your, your grandparents or your mom or your partner or that support person to your WIC appointments so that they as well can learn about, what we're teaching the mom or the child or, how they can parent together and really support each other. So we love that.
It sounds like we're on the same page.
We absolutely are.
So the school system has all of the children. All children are mandated to go to school.
Yeah.
And if we can invite you in to our mandate to do that part of the education in collaboration with the teachers,
Yes.
it also lifts the teachers because Rose was well educated. By the time she had a child, you had graduated from college, but yet her focus was communication. It wasn't foods and nutrition at that point. So, just because you're got a master's or you've got a degree, and my husband was a pediatrician, he did not know about the importance of nutrition. He knew about the importance of breastfeeding, but how many doctors let the formula people in to give the bag and the free things to the mother, not understanding that it actually undermines the mother and it undermines, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, yeah.
So even at Crossroads, where we have pregnant teens in our school, they so wanted to be in there to help those young mothers. And when I was teaching 10, 12 years ago, teaching nutrition over there, I was coming in and showing them how to cook. And it was like only one mother out of all of these young women was breastfeeding because they had been given the formula. And another thing that I learned from those young women is that if the male, their partner, doesn't support their breastfeeding, they won't do it. Because if the male doesn't understand the importance of that for their child, they think it's gross.
Oh, wow.
They think it's ridiculous, or So it's important that this information, if we can get it to all children from kindergarten straight through, then it just becomes, this is what we do.
Yes.
This is how you treat a child. This is the resources. This is a community, and it has nothing to do with religion or race or where you were from.
Just you have a human body.
You do, yeah. And then we teach them the resources, give them the education that they need to advocate for themselves, so that if they want to breastfeed, this is what they're going to do. And they have the education in order to be able to tell their medical provider, oh, this is my plan. This is my breastfeeding plan. This is my birthing plan.
Hard. It is still, having children, it is still really hard to get your voice heard when you're already feeling vulnerable as it is.
I agree.
And maybe you're tired, and maybe you don't want to fight.
You're definitely tired.
You're definitely tired and such. So I believe that it takes the whole community to support the woman and the child.
There's the bell.
There's the bell. Raise your hand if you have a question. We're here at school.
We are,
Maybe you could just say a little bit about where you went to college, because we're career technical educators, and so we've got children looking at this like going, hey, I really liked you. I was inspired by you. How did you get there? And maybe they would want to do what you're doing. So could you tell you how you got inspired?
So that's a great question. I started off in nutrition. It's my second career. My first career, I did funeral service education. And I just realized that people were passing away from chronic illnesses that could have been, actually reversed with healthy foods, eating healthy. You know, Hippocrates once said that food is thy medicine and thy medicine is thy food. And I thought, oh my goodness, like I can really, get this education, become a dietitian, and go out into the community and just, give them the access to the information that I have, and that is out there. Like you guys pointed out, like choosing fresh foods over packaged food, eating this fresh apple, you have access to all the vitamins and minerals right here in this one apple.
And no plastic.
There's no plastic container. And everything you need is right here.
And you can throw it on the ground.
And it can be composted, absolutely, and enrich the environment as well. And so I went to school on the East Coast. I went to Brooklyn College. I got educated there. Then I did a 1-year internship. I worked at John Muir, which is a community hospital. Got a lot of experience there. And then I really thought that my heart was in public health. I really enjoyed working in community nutrition at the WIC program where I volunteered. I did a lot of work with them. And I thought,
you suggest volunteering
I
to
volunteered,
see what your passion is.
Absolutely. I volunteered at food pantries. I volunteered at City Harvest in New York City. We did a lot of community. I worked at a CSA garden. So this was like really a
you
community.
went from farm to taste.
I did from farm to taste.
Farm
Absolutely.
To taste.
Yeah.
You see the connection with all of it.
And community gardens was really my passion. I wanted children to be able to see that food can be grown on your balcony. It can be grown in your backyard. And it is so easy to grow these foods and then learn about how these foods can nourish your body. So just like I said, thy food is thy medicine, let thy medicine be thy food.
Yep.
And we have all of this in our fresh fruits and vegetables. And so I thought, this is a career that I want to follow. I want to be able to take this message. I love working with kids. I have 2 of my own. They love cooking. And so this was my passion, and I'm so happy to be a part of the community working with the WIC program.
Rose, we're getting
being
her an
able
apron.
to be here.
We're getting her an apron. She is
from now on.
farm to taste girl.
I am.
You've
I
been
absolutely
recruited.
am. Thank you. I accept. I totally accept. Yes. So, I just love being a part of the community and just teaching kids, how they can incorporate, advocate for themselves, be able to be educated shoppers when they go to the grocery store, to read a label and to know, oh, this is going to nourish my body. There's no added ingredients that I really don't need. It's as basic and nutritious as it needs to be. So,
all right,
that's what I love.
we're going to wrap this up together, but instead we're going to have you, I'm going to have you two with your nutrition education. I'm going to stand back here as a chef. You girls go and give some ideas on what to do.
Oh, for a snack?
Forward. You guys,
Oh.
yeah, come on, girls, you go.
Okay.
Okay, they're going. They're doing.
I want to grab
You're
the
gonna
jicama
grab the
sticks
jicama.
here, because these are my favorite.
And what would you put with those?
Oh, so the jicama sticks, I would actually do do a lime, put a little bit of cayenne pepper because I love all things spicy. Maybe even cut a little bit of mango to give that lime juice and that cayenne pepper a little bit of flavor.
Like
Mango.
Mango with
Yes, mango with jicama.
What is even happening right
I would
now?
even
My
grab
whole
a
life has been changed.
jalapeno if I'm not feeling the cayenne and I want to even more spicy, a little bit more tropical.
Yep.
I would toss my jicama sticks in there and I would eat the mango and the jicama together, and that would just make my heart and my tummy melt, and I'd be so happy. Yeah, I really do love jicama sticks, and there's a lot of high school kids who have their braces. Jicama sticks are okay with braces; they're not too hard, and so you can absolutely eat this.
So do you put a protein with that also? Do you put, because UCSF said you put 2 food groups
for
together.
a snack, yeah.
For a
so
snack.
having a protein will give you that fat, that flavor will help you, the protein will help you stay full longer. And so it's always a good idea to pair your snack, a protein, a carb, or vegetable, and a protein. So you can have a Baby Bell here. There are some people who use jicama sticks like celery sticks. We would do either sunflower butter or nut butter or hummus.
Did you see the sunflower seeds she's got going on here? This is brand new.
This
Compare
one?
those 2 labels, Rose.
Right. So this is actually really interesting. if you just look at these sunflower nut butters, seed butters, sunflower seed butters, you can't really tell that there's any difference, right? I actually have made this mistake before. I was like halfway through one of these one time when I finally looked at the label and I went, what is happening? So this one right here says roasted sunflower seeds and salt. Cool. This one here says roasted sunflower seeds, powdered sugar, cane sugar, cornstarch, salt.
Wow.
What?
But I can see
What?
the difference.
I mean,
Yeah.
right? It doesn't look like on the front. You
Yeah.
actually have to read the label. I'm showing her. Sorry, you
Yes.
guys. I know that you can see this too now.
The spread can get
Always
you.
read,
Always read the
Always read the
label.
label. So
Yes.
the
Ingredient.
lesson here is you can get pretty much everything that you want. You can get tomato sauce without added sugar. You don't have to make the tomato sauce yourself at home. You can get ketchup without added sugar. You can get nut butters without added sugar or oils. You can get almost anything without added ingredients that you don't want inside of your body so that you don't have the consequences, but you have to be intentional. When you go to the grocery store, you have to be able to read the labels and
Yes.
feel educated about that. Okay,
And
so this is
understand
mine.
what you're looking for.
What are you looking for?
So important.
Right. Okay, so my snack is going to be the rice cakes because you saw me just drooling over these a little bit earlier. I'm going to put some nut and seed spread on that. This is really nice because it is almonds. Oh, this is just like just an almond butter, which is really beautiful. And what I'm going to do there is I'm then going to add fresh strawberries on top. If you have not had this combination of rice
She's a
cake,
foodie.
nut butter, fruit, little sprinkle of cinnamon. Delicious.
Okay, yours. It's you. It's on.
So more than my jicama sticks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, you did show that you had here some guacamole that was already prepackaged in a beautiful serving size. And then here we have some quinoa tortilla chips made with stone ground white corn, red quinoa, and black beans. So
And if
I hear a
you read
protein,
here-
I hear
Look
carb,
what's in it.
and I hear seeds. So the ingredients are stone ground white corn, sunflower oil, red quinoa, black beans, garlic powder, onion powder, sea salt, water, and a trace of lime.
Nice.
I think this is a great pairing for one of these. Yeah.
I
And,
agree.
and if you like hummus, this is a really good hummus dip as well. So you can pair your quinoa chips along with your hummus, and that is a great snack as well. You know, there's some turkey breast here, sliced oven roast turkey breast, where we read the ingredients for you. So very basic ingredients, just turkey and a little bit of salt. I can even take this, roll it up. I can put this avocado on there, a little bit of fat, and have my crackers on the side. That's another great pairing for a snack. And you can throw some blueberries on the side. I think that would be absolutely delicious.
And don't forget the good old celery with a little nut butter, a couple of raisins sprinkled on there. That's a really nice snack
Oh,
as
you know
well.
what they call that?
On the log.
Ants
The
on
log.
the
The
log.
Yes,
Ants
yes.
on the log.
My kids love that.
And that's where you can use these little containers.
Yeah.
And you
Yes.
can put your peanut butter in there from the jar. Also, when you're done with your nut butters, wash them out and use those when you make a homemade tomato sauce. So you got something left over. You can put it in there and make your own applesauce.
Yeah.
Send it in the
That's a
jar
great
with your
idea.
kids. And those
love
are
that.
plastic,
Reusable.
not glass, reusable, and have the kids come back. So we're
Yep.
always talking about how we can reuse, reduce, and take everything. Well, you were talking about composting at home.
At home.
At home in the green bin. All of the waste can go into the green bin. And look at your grocery store too. They are mandated to take all of your plastic bags back. And if you rinse all of these things out and they have no food waste on it, save it, take it back to your
Really?
grocery store. Yep.
Oh, wow.
And
Wait,
they will
of your food products?
of this, if it has
The
no
plastic
food,
on the
this
food
plastic,
products?
Wow.
not with the cheese, that what it comes in.
Really?
These bags, as long as
Safeway
it
will
has,
take them all
you
back.
put all your plastic together, all your plastic, and you
Learn
take
something
it
new
back,
every day.
and they make it into those plastic bags.
Nice.
So we can help
The
to
environment.
reuse and reduce, and all of your food waste goes into the green bin.
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
am so excited that you came
I
here
am
with
too.
us.
I
This
am
is
too.
awesome.
Thank you.
By the way, I want to thank Trader Joe's because
Yes.
we buy a lot of our things here at Trader Joe's
Yep.
because they come in smaller containers, and the cucumbers, all of these, and read the labels and keep it simple. Keep it simple. Carry snacks with your kids in the car. You never know what's going to happen.
Wait,
and
the granola. Can we see the granola?
Oh, I can smell it. It smells so
I
good.
think that's what's happening. I can
Yeah.
feel the warmth
Okay.
and I can smell it. It's a whole experience. Food is
Oh,
so
yeah.
much fun.
Oh, look at this, Rose.
Yes,
Wow.
Mother.
Okay.
Yes.
Look at it is so
Toasty.
toasty. Yes.
Perfect.
Now is when we add
Right
the
here.
dried fruit. Okay, dried fruit goes in now because you want it to stay soft.
Incorporate it.
Yes.
I typically, for granola, what I do is I have it with yogurt and fresh fruit in the morning. But that could also be a snack, a little bit of yogurt with a
yeah.
little bit of granola on top of it, or you could even do like a rice cake with the nut butter and like sprinkle some granola. It just kind of depends on how you want
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
Lovely.
Is that wonderful? I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's our granola.
Perfect. Yeah. They got it. I love
Very
it.
good.
All
Very
right, you
good.
guys, so this was snacks. Beautiful, wonderful. Thank you so much for being here.
And label
love
reading
it.
101, we taught you how
Label
to
reading
read.
101.
If it is real food, you don't need to read the label.
Mm.
Anything in a package, and what we would like to tell you is eat more things that come from the garden than what comes from the factory. Okay? There
I
you
like
go.
it. I was maybe thinking one last thing. How do people get in touch maybe with you or with WIC if they're like, oh my goodness, I'm pregnant. I would love to have access to some more groceries and some nutrition information. Like, can they just Google it? Like, how do they get a hold of you?
You can actually go online at cchealth.org/WIC. And you can add, there's an apply for WIC tab that you can go to. Just put in your email and address, your information, and it will send us an email, and then somebody from our local WIC office will contact you to set up an appointment.
Yeah, yeah.
One question we need to ask. Do they check to make sure that you are, what if you are
You have to be income eligible for the program.
But what if you are not, if you're undocumented or you're just visiting?
That's totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no
so
questions asked
there's
about.
no questions
no.
asked about being
Immigration status. Yeah, we
or
are
anything.
no charge, no public
No
charge
public
program.
charge program.
Correct.
Okay. Your information is going to be on our website. You're going to be one of us.
No problem.
I'm here. I love it. You're part of the crew.
Same team.
And
I love
this,
it.
oh my God. You know what? Teamwork
Yeah.
Teamwork
makes the
dream
dream
work.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
it does.
Hey, thank you so much. And